get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans by fans, with your hosts, Jessy Martin.
Because 90% of them are wrong. They're fucking wrong.
Max Taman.
You've got a plate of shit and you've got a bowl of shit. They're the same thing.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
John Taman.
What the hell was I talking about?
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taman.
Hey, that's me. I'm the world's worst podcast host, and I almost was the world's worst podcast host right away because I'm just sitting here listening to the introduction, doing my bets on my FanDuel account there. By the way, they don't sponsor us. We just happen to use their lines for our show here. And I almost missed my cue. So, hey, how's everybody doing? It's Saturday afternoon. Michigan has beaten Ohio State. I'm sure everybody's seen that and seen the fight on the field afterwards. I thought saw a couple of things that I saw coming out of that fight that were kind of weird. There was an Ohio State player who was being led away, and from my view, he was holding himself like he'd gotten stabbed. I don't think he did, and then there was a couple of guys on the Michigan bench. I was wondering, did anybody get maced in the middle of that thing? That thing got out of hand a little bit. Or maybe I'm just, fucking seeing things on my TV that I wish were there. Let's mace some Michigan players and stab a couple of Ohio State Buckeyes. Go Penn State. To my whatever over there. That's my good friend Jessy. How
Go
you doing?
Terps. Yeah,
Oh.
good.
Go Turtles. My wife, right? Well, she's Chinese, obviously. And it was a big fad around here for, 20 years ago. Everybody got Chinese characters tattooed on themselves, right? And my wife used to laugh like hell walking around reading what people actually had written on their arm. And I guess this guy must have thought he got Go Terps written on his arm, but it really said, I am Turtle Man. And my wife about damn fell out when she was in the grocery store and saw that. So, yeah, hey, you know what? When you go get those nifty characters, remember, those people have a sense of humor, and they love to use you as a billboard for it. Speaking of people with a sense of humor, there's our good friend from Barrow and Furnace down there, Scott Hartley. How you doing there, bud?
I'm great, thank you. I like this show every week. It's enjoyable. Yes, I have Chinese letters too.
Do they say I'm going to go kill my dog?
No, this says
I got the
egg fried rice.
Egg
Egg
fried
roll
rice?
woman. Right there,
All right.
the package, the little girl playing the flute when you're
Okay.
packaging egg rolls. That's her right there.
All right. I tell you what, speaking of Chinese food, I'm going to go kill my dog. I'll be right back.
Well, John kills his dog and gets PETA after him. The Big and Boss book.
The Big in Boss book itself,
Big in
Jessy.
Boss
Yeah,
book.
we'll go through from last week. So, the scores were out of 12 this week. So, Jessy, you predicted 9 out of 12, correct? John also got 9 out of 12. Max got 7 out of 12. And I also got 7 out of 12. So it is a tie again.
All right.
For the week. We'll get into the bets. John hasn't caught up with you. It's all good. You've got a commanding lead still. So we've just said there, John, the scores on the doors from last week was 9 out of 12 for Jessy, 9 out of 12 for yourself, 7 out of 12 for Max, and 7 out of 12 for me. So it's a tie.
I'm going to just say on behalf of my family name, this nonsense with Max and his picks comes from his mother's side.
Well, I was the same, so don't worry about it. It's one of them.
Well, I have no excuse for you other than the fact you live on an island that's been
that's
inbreeding
true.
for 10,000 years. Well, what are you going to
Max, we'll go through Max's bet. He only got one of his bets correct this week. Minus 5.5 Green Bay, put $250 on it, gave him $477.27. His downs was $1,100. Obviously, returns was $477.27. A loss of $622.73.
Is that the loss of a year so far?
That's the loss of the year so far. Yeah,
Look, that's why he's not here. His girlfriend said, look, you're not going to be losing any more money on this show. We're going to a goddamn apple picking or something. Is where he's at today.
So, Jessy, yours were minus 5.5 on Tampa Bay. $50 gave you $91.67. You also had exactly the same for Denver. 5.5, 50 gave you $91.67. $200 on the money line for Green Bay gave you $283.33, and you had the minus 2.5 for Baltimore 50 that gave you $92.37. Your downs were $8.50. Your returns was 55903.
Bad week
So
for you.
yeah, not good. John,
Can't win 'em all.
you had $100 on the Tampa Bay laying the points. 5.5 gave you 183.33. 50 on the Denver, 91.67. 100 on Green Bay laying the points, which was
On the
also
Denver.
5.5.
I bet on the Denver.
The Denver Broncos.
Denver.
The Denver.
Oh, John Denver. Yeah. 100 on Green Bay, 5.5. That gave you 190.91. You also took Seattle with the points, 1.5. That gave you 90.98. Over 48.5 in the Philly LA Rams game gave you 93.48, and over 1.5 touchdowns was plus 110 for Matthew Stafford. That gave you 105. Your bets this week was 775. Your returns was 75537, giving you a loss of $19.63. Then it was myself. Go on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go on.
I was just saying,
No, sorry. You go.
About the same time I saw, I was looking on Twitter, and I saw Scott's comment, Forbes is cut.
Is he really? That's
Like,
Andy.
out and
I think
out
that's
cut.
Andy. I think that's Andy's put that in Scouts, but
Breaking news,
Just out and out, straight up cut.
and Eckler is
Wow.
going injured reserve.
and we've activated a couple of players there. I think Max said we've activated the kicker, and I don't know who the other guy was. So yeah,
Yeah, Zane Gonzalez and
We've
Carlos
activated
Davis.
Gonzalez.
Carlos Davis is up, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
So no.
On to my bets from
no running
week,
back, huh?
on my bets from the week. 50 on Tampa Bay. We all went with that. 91.67. I went 100 on minus 7.5 Miami. That gave me 195.24. 50 on the Denver. And on top of that, I went with 41.5 over, which was a plus 245, gave me 172.50. My bets were 800. My returns were 459.41. Loss of 340.59. So we all had a loss this week, unfortunately. But on the bets, if we look at the predictors and the bets overall, this score so far is Jessy has 2 wins, John has 3 wins, Max has 1 win, I have 2 wins. And on the bets, Jessy has 6. John was this week's winner with the lowest loss. There, that puts him on to 3 wins for the
lowest
season.
loss.
I know. Max
Suck the
has
least.
1.
Yay!
Max has 1 win and I have 2. So the winners for the picks was none. It was a tie, and the winners for the bets was John. So well done, John. Even though
I
it
won
was a
by losing.
$19 loss.
Less than all.
Yeah, that's interesting. That with Forbes. I mean, he's genuinely been cut. Wow. Okay, that's breaking news.
Damn.
On the
That's
Bleeding
just-
Burgundy podcast.
There you go. Breaking news on the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. Malcolm Forbes. I did it again. Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah.
Cut himself. And apparently it went all the way through because there ain't much of him. And I think it was a Ginsu commercial. It was showing how sharp a knife could be. It was slicing through a tomato and a piece of paper and this little skinny stick. And they grabbed him by accident and, kind of hacked him up. But no, he's been...
Yeah,
he's been released
Ian
by the Commanders.
Rappaport put it on 7 minutes ago. So, yeah. Wow. That's... yeah. No, thanks,
Hard
Ron
to say
Rivera.
wow. Hard to say wow. From what I understand, A.J. Brown is going to sign him to be a bitch for him. So, he's just to be a house bitch. Of course, DJ Moore might
Do you
sign
think
him
he?
too.
Do you think he gets picked up by a team?
I think that he might end up stuck to a team shoe. Yeah, I don't see why not. Somebody will put him on a practice squad somewhere.
Maybe
He's
us.
too light to be working for
So-
UPS. He's probably got
2019, Montez Sweat traded. 2019, QB cornerback Dwayne Haskins cut. 2020,
R.I.P.
Chase Young traded. 2021, linebacker Jamin Davis cut. 2022, John Dotson traded. 2023, Emmanuel Forbes cut.
Whew.
Been a rough.
Happy Thanksgiving, Ron Rivera. Thanks for nothing. I guess
That
he
is
gave us
rough
some
from first round.
right?
From first round picks, that is horrible.
That's not just horrible, Scott. That is absolutely atrocious. We could have done that. We could have sat together and come up with a better first round.
Genuinely, though, yeah, you're right. I mean, when you look back, you go, well, hang on a minute. Could have had Kyle Hamilton. Could have had JOK. You could have had bloody Rayshon Slater. You could have had Justin Herbert. There's lots of coulda, woulda, shouldas,
Good
but at the
It's
time,
in the past.
the only
It's beating the
yeah,
dead
exactly.
horse. It's
The
all
only
in the
one,
past now.
the only one that I will say to Ron, fair play, you picked the right person, but it wasn't the right fit. Was Chase Young? That's it.
He stinks.
I know he does, but at the time there wasn't
At
a
the time, he
single
wasn't.
person.
At the time,
there
yeah,
wasn't
but-
a single person in this fan base who didn't want that pick.
It wasn't
Objectively.
a single person in the entire NFL that didn't
Correct.
think it wasn't the right pick.
Exactly right.
So you can't blame Ron for that.
No.
Not for that one, but for the others,
People
we
are going to look at
certainly
it and
can.
say we could have picked Justin Herbert and all of that sort of thing like that, which is true.
We had a
but
quarterback.
Well, no, we coulda.
That started showing promise.
The
end of the
problem with
season.
that kind of theorizing is that we would have picked a quarterback and given him to that coaching staff, which would have likely resulted in a different developmental path. He wouldn't have been the same guy, I don't think.
Probably not.
I mean, he's talented, and I'm hoping for him this week because I'm picking him.
Nice.
I got him on some stuff this week.
So, are we on
right.
to the games then, Jesse?
On to the games. Oops. Yeah. All right, first up, we got, as soon as I find out the right layout. There we go.
There we go.
We have the San Diego Why do I fucking always do it? The LA Chargers at
I do it
the
too. I do it too.
Atlanta Falcons. Chargers are favored by 1.5 on the road. Over under is 47.5. And this is a big game for the Falcons. Actually, this is a big game for both of these teams.
Yeah, it is.
Even though it's not in the same conference, it's getting that time of year where everybody's positioning for playoffs. So I think it's going to be a good game. The Falcons just don't have a defense whatsoever.
No.
I think I'm going to go with the Chargers. We need the Chargers probably to go ahead and take care of the Falcons for us, just so they don't have any hopes of making the playoffs. Yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers. I'm not going to put any money on it. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. If anything, I'll put 50 on the over.
All right.
Okay.
See, there's days that the Falcons' offense just doesn't show up either, and that gets on my nerves too because they've got seemingly the talent. They've got wide receivers that can do the job. They've got a tight end that can do the job. They've got 2 running backs that can do the job. They've got a quarterback that can do the job until somebody looks at him. And I just don't understand why they disappear in games the way that they do. They shouldn't be this hot and cold. So, I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one, too, coming across the country. I'm going to take them at that 1.5 points, and I'm not laying anything down on it. When I said what I had in store for Justin Herbert was a whole bunch of hoping. I'm hoping he's doing all right this week, but I'm not picking anything.
So Max has gone with the Atlanta Falcons for this game. I am also picking the Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers here. I think for our sake, we need Atlanta to bump down a bit in the postseason and in the seedings for playoffs. So on that alone, I think the way that the Chargers played last week, they played very well. I'm going to take the Chargers with this game. I don't want to put anything on this though.
All right, moving right along here, we have the game of the week and the Indianapolis Colts traveling to the New England Patriots. Colts are 2.5-point favorites. Over under is 42.5. And this is a shit show of a game. Don't want nothing to do with this game, but give me the Colts for the win.
You know what? I'm going with the Patriots in this game. It's going to be cold. I think that the Colts, everything about Anthony Richardson is either boom or bust, man. And I think that he's going to bust again on this one. And Drake May, I think, is showing some promise. I'm not going to put anything down on. You know what? I'll tell you what. Give me the Patriots. Give me those 2.5 points. And I'm going to put $25 cheap and easy down on that. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to bet on this one at all. So, all right, you know what? I'll tell you what. You're going to call me a pussy. I'll go ahead and bet $25.
$25 New England plus the 2.5. I've
That's
got you,
it.
John.
That's
Max has gone with Indianapolis for this game. I'm also going with Indianapolis. I just think Anthony Richardson gives you that threat with his legs. He's scoring rushing touchdowns as well. So Michael Pittman as well is playing well. So for me, I will take Indianapolis over sorry New England team.
A sorry-ass New England team.
All right, moving right along. This is an interesting game right here.
It is in my household, Jesse.
Even though it doesn't look as interesting as who's playing quarterback for the Jaguars.
It will not be Trevor Lawrence. It will be.
Are you sure?
Yes. It's going to be the guy
There
who's
goes
out.
all interest in that game.
They don't have anybody on FanDuel, so
It's what's he called? The guy who's at New
Mac
England.
Jones?
That's the one. Yeah.
The interesting thing about the Jaguars is sometimes they are just in games inexplicably, against good teams. I think they were in, weren't they in the Kansas City game? They were in the Eagles game, and the Texans. Well, they just haven't been playing good. I'm going to take.
Got beat last week. Got beat last week by the Titans. So you're taking the Houston Texans for the win.
Yeah, I'm taking the Texans. I don't want anything to do with this. I will put a ETN was it Nico Collins parlay for $50.
Mm-hmm. I've got that down, John.
Give me the Texans in this game. I'm going to lay the 3.5 points, and I'm going to put $50 on that. The Jaguars are trash, junk, done, crap, gone. Get them out of here. It's amazing that their coach still has a job. It really is. There's been chances that they could have left him on another continent, and they absolutely didn't do it. And that's why this team is losing, because they can't take advantage of opportunities when they are presented to themselves. And, I don't see any hope for them. The Texans' defense hasn't been good. But I don't think you need to be good here, and I think it's time for C.J. Stroud to get back, doing what he's doing. I'll tell you what, I will put a prop down on 2 touchdowns for Nico Collins. I want to put $50 down on that.
All right, I'm adding Mixon to that parlay, Scott.
Okay.
That's plus 804. And
Plus
your 2 TDs.
804. Yeah.
Yeah. You said 2 TDs, John. For
Yep, 2
Collins,
TDs for Nico Collins.
That's plus 850.
Thank you. So I'm also taking the Texans. This is one of my big bets of the week. I'm sorry, Karen. I know you're going to hate me for this, but yeah, give me them. Give me the Texans minus the 3.5 points, $200. This is an easy win for the Texans. Get right game, no problem whatsoever. 3.5.
And Scotty's big bet of the week.
Or we called it the pisser of the week, didn't we?
The pisser of the week, yeah.
I don't know if John's got that graphic there, but I'll go through it. It's plus 554? Did you say it was?
557.
557, my apologies. It is a Joe Mixon touchdown anytime, a Nico Collins touchdown anytime, Texans minus the 3.5 points, and CJ Stroud to throw over 1.5 touchdowns. $100 on that one for me.
What was that, Scott? I'm sorry, I missed your big $100 bet.
So my $100 bet on this one is a plus 557. It's Joe Mixon touchdown, a Nico Collins touchdown, the Texans minus them 3.5 points, and CJ Stroud over 1.5 touchdowns for $100.
That's a damn good bet. Mm-hmm. Is that your big parlay of the week, Scott?
That's my pisser of the week, Scott's
the pisser of the week.
You can piss your money away if you take my bet on. Don't worry about it.
All right. All right, so next week we'll have a graphic for Scotty's pisser of the week, and we'll have all kinds of fun stuff to go along with that.
All right, we have the Seattle Seahawks traveling to New York to take on the Jets. Seahawks are only favored by 1.5, even though the Jets have been jetting straight into the Atlantic Ocean because they're fucking awful. Over-under is 42.5.
That's gone down because I had it at 44.5, so it's gone down to 42.5, has it?
Let me see what it says here. The Jets, it's 42.5. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I will update the book.
So, excuse me, guys.
Jesus Christ, have a cup of coffee, for God's sakes. I'll be just really quick.
Or a
before
Red
you
Bull.
Jump into this
I
game.
don't drink I don't drink coffee or Red Bull or anything. Give me the Seahawks. You can't trust fucking Aaron Rodgers, and even though that team is so talented, top to bottom, probably one of the most talented teams in the league, and they just can't fucking do anything. So I can't pick them. I can't pick them right now.
Nope.
Even though we need the
Brees Hall's
Seahawks
not
to
gonna play.
lose, we should want the Seahawks to lose.
We should.
They're going to win. They're not going to.
Brees Hall, is he in?
Yep.
Brees Hall.
He better be because he's in my fantasy team.
Likely to
I'll
play.
be annoyed.
All right, likely to play according to Jets Wire. So I would think that he's in there, and I really don't think it matters. I think that with him or without him, I think that the Jets just aren't going to get it going. They're going to be enough to tickle you, right up there under the sack, give you that nice little tickle, and that's about it. Because as soon as you feel that little tickle, you open up your eyes, and there's Aaron Rodgers, and everything just goes to shit. It's just not working. Hang on a minute. You know what? I swear to God, if I started a podcast called My Dog Barking and I put the microphone in front of him, the motherfucker wouldn't open his mouth. But every time I start a goddamn podcast, he won't shut up. Hang on a sec.
So I've got John for Seattle then. Max
Thank
has
you.
also taken Seattle. I'm going to be out on an island. I'm going to go with the Jets. I'm taking them. I'm taking them 1.5 points, and I'm going to put $50 down on it. I think the Jets will win this game. Somehow they'll squeak it out. I think they are an awful team. I completely agree with you, Jesse. I think with Brees Hall running the ball, I think they'll do something with this game. I don't trust Geno Smith either. Obviously, the other side of it, Njigba's been flying at the moment. He's been playing very well. DK Metcalf is dinged up and hasn't been doing anything, and Tyler Lockett needs to get his Zimmer frame out to start playing. So the the Seahawks are not great. I mean, who's their running back? Is it Chardonnay or Charbonnet?
No, it's
Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker, who's
Kenneth
very
Walker,
good.
who's been quietly
who's
having a very good season.
Yeah, that Justin Jefferson trade, Scouse. Yeah, I'll remind him of that.
I'm going to tell you what, we're going to look at those numbers at the end of the year, and I got to guarantee you that they're a lot closer than you might think. All right, so I wanted to look at some other stuff on that, but goddamn if my dog didn't bother me. So continue, please go ahead. I already made my pick on that game. Right.
All right, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. This is a good game right here. Cincinnati Bengals.
This is interesting.
At home favorites against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why? I
don't know why.
Like this line at all. I don't think the Bengals should be favored. Do they have an excellent offense? Of course. But their defense is terrible. Steelers' defense is awesome. Over-under is 47.5. I'm sorry, but I'm picking the dog in this one. I'm picking the Steelers.
Wow.
I thought about it the same way. Why are the Bengals favored in this? And I think it's because they don't have any defense. They haven't been able to stop anybody. The Steelers, on the other hand, I think if you look at it as in terms of a shootout, which is how the Bengals do everything these days, I think the Bengals come up on top of that. They're at home. I think that does matter in this division, especially at this time of year. I don't think anybody likes anybody over in that division at all, anyway. But give me the Bengals and those. I'll lay those 2.5 points, and I'll put $50 down on that. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give that I'm going to parlay that with a chase and chase. Anytime.
You're going to do the chase and chase, yeah?
Chase and chase.
Plus chase.
I don't know what that would be off the top of my head because I'm still looking at my
Plus 236.
Yeah, I'm looking at my
Thank you, Jesse.
the bet that I'm making on the Jets game because I am adding some stuff to that.
So Max has taken the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game, and obviously I have Max's bets in there. They're in our Bleeding Burgundy chat, so I will update the book with his bets. Just haven't got it to hand at the minute, Max. So rest assured, I will get them in for you. Cincinnati, I am taking Cincinnati in this game. I just think they're going to have more than enough on offense. Defensively, they are terrible. You are correct, Jesse. I just think it's Joe Burrow. I think he connects with Jamar Chase. 2 touchdowns maybe, and they'll squeak a win out here. Division game though, so who knows? Going to be tough.
All right, moving along here. This is another good game.
Can I pull back just a second, Scott, onto the page?
Do you want to just go to the? Do you want to go to the Jets? Do you? Or you want to go to the Cincinnati?
Yeah, I do have one more thing I want to add to the Jets that I had because my dog made me get up and put it there. All right, I want to add a $50 parlay for an anytime touchdown for Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Geno Smith over 1.5 touchdowns.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Mm-hmm.
And Geno 1.5 TDs, yeah. Do we know what that would be at all, John?
Let's see. Yeah, that would be plus 329. No, it wouldn't because I've got something else added on top of here. So that shouldn't actually have happened. Fuck. Good thing. I don't know what it is, but I'll find out. I don't think I can find out because I've already bet it once.
All right, we've got the Arizona Cardinals traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Vikings are favored by 3.5. The over/under is 44.5. Both these teams are playing well. The Vikings are 9-2. The Cardinals are 6-5. I like the Vikings in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think their defense is that good, and the Cardinals they're feisty. But they just don't have any real playmakers besides.
Last week, Jesse, they were absolutely terrible against the Seahawks. And they didn't get anything going at all on offense. Yeah, the week before they were okay against the Jets, but they let the Jets hang around again. I'm not sure about this Cardinals team, to be honest with you. And coming up against a high-powered defense like the Vikings have got, they're going to struggle. They are going to struggle in this game for me.
I think so too. That's why I'm leaning towards the Vikings. I like the Vikings for the win.
Me too. Max has Arizona in this game.
Max is course.
Obviously.
He loves some Arizona.
John?
I'm taking the Vikings in this game just because of the home team factor of it. I've been liking the Cardinals too. I like that they've been pretty well balanced. But the Vikings, they've been playing a little too close lately. But I think that they'll win this one by 5 or 6. So give me the Vikings. I'll lay the 3.5. I'll put $50 down on that, and I'm going to go ahead and put another 50 down on the over.
Okay, so separate bet 50 over, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
50 over Minnesota versus Arizona, and 50 minus 3.5 min. I've got you. Any parlays on this, gentleman?
Yeah, I got Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, and James Conner TD parlay for plus 740.
So Jones, Jefferson,
and Conner.
Yeah, that's a good bet actually. Conner anytime TD for plus. What was that? Sorry.
740.
Okay, $50.
Yes, sir.
Good bet that, Jesse, actually. I'm quite interested in that myself. I'm looking at it thinking, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Anything from you, John?
No, I'm not putting any props on this one or any parlays on this one, though.
All right, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. Bucks are on the road, but they're still favored by 5.5. Over under is 46.5, and come on, the Bucks are going to win this game.
Easy.
At least they should. Carolina is starting to be a little bit more feistier, but
didn't they win last week?
Give me the Bucks.
No, they were. They did not take the Chiefs very, very close.
The Chiefs got away with one.
30-27 or something, wasn't it, in the end?
The Chiefs get away with one every game they play.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
That is the most. I don't know. I can't call an 11-1 team fraudulent, but good God, that is the most glass fucking 11-1 team I've ever seen.
They should have 4 losses on their record. I mean, the block field goal against Denver. They had the Raiders yesterday. Then they had the Panthers as well. That's 4. Take that, and then the Bills loss. That's 4 losses. It's a different team. It's just anyway, we'll go on to the Chiefs. He is. I'm taking Tampa Bay here. Max has also taken Tampa Bay. I'm wondering if there's if Jesse, if you could pull up a parlay for me. I think you're probably doing one yourself. But what would a Bucky Irving and a Mike Evans TD lay the 5.5 points, and Baker Mayfield to throw over 1.5 TDs.
Hold on a second.
If you can.
You said laying the points and then Baker throwing over.
Baker throwing over 1.5, yeah, if that's on offer. And then a Bucky Irvin and Evans.
That's plus 821.
I will take that and I'll put 50 on that.
All right. Here we go. Now we're going to get into some scoring, because these two teams are going to score. LA Rams and the Saints. The Saints are at home. Rams are favored by 2.5. Over-under is 49.5. I believe this is the biggest over-under of the week, if I remember correctly.
No, it's not. Next one is next one's
is it?
50.5. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, close enough. Rams. I think they're going to if they're going to win the division like I predicted earlier this season, they need to win this game and they need to win it handily. Give me the Rams, laying the points, and I'll put 50 on that.
Absolutely.
Good
yeah,
bet.
I'm going to go ahead and I'll tell you what. Well, why don't we run through ours and then Jesse can do his big thing here. So let's see.
Okay. So, John, are you taking the Rams?
Hell yeah, I'm laying the 2.5 points by all day, and I'm putting $100 down on that. So I also want a Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams anytime touchdown.
Do you want that added onto that 100?
No, I want that as a $50 parlay.
Nakua and Williams.
Right.
That's plus 243.
Tell you what, add me an Alvin Kamara on there too.
Ooh.
That's plus 446.
That I'll put $50 on.
Got you. Max is also taking the Rams for this, and I'm also taking the Rams. This is an easy one for me. I'm going to go with you, John. I'm going to put 100 on this. Rams laying the points. Easy win for the Rams this, or it should be an easy win for the Rams.
Yeah, you'd think so. Things get weird though.
They do.
Especially if I put money on it.
Jesse, you got any parlays on this one?
This is Jesse's big same game parlay of the week.
Of course it is.
Humongous one. Yeah. This is
We'll have music for this next week.
2165. I got a Kyron Williams anytime touchdown. I got a Puka Nacua anytime touchdown. I got a Taysom Hill anytime touchdown. Alvin Kamara 4+ receptions. Derek Carr over 200 yards passing. Matthew Stafford over 250. And Puka Nacua over 60 yards receiving.
Plus 2165. What are you putting on that? 100?
I know, 50.
Ooh, 50. Right, okay.
That's a big parlay, but they all look pretty good. The one that I mean, Taysom Hill is boomer bust, but the rest of them look very reachable.
Derek Carr, 200 passing yards. I don't know.
We'll see. All right, so there's Jesse's big same game parlay of the week. Ta-da!
Yeah.
My dog liked it. Anyway. All right. Where are we? Okay.
All right. We got the now Baltimore Ravens at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. Ravens are favored by 3. Over under is 50.5. Man, I think
this is a tough one.
Yeah.
Hard pick this.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Philly, even though I don't want to. I just think Philly's gonna win.
I hate to agree, but I think I'm gonna have to, and so I'll take Philadelphia plus the 3 points. And if I'm gonna say they're gonna win outright, I might as well make some money on it. Put $50 down on the Eagles. I'd like a parlay, please, to go on top of that. of the Eagles plus +3. I would like to put a Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown, a Derrick Henry anytime touchdown, and a Zay Flowers anytime touchdown. And you know
get
what?
more money if you do the money line, John.
Then put the money line on there instead of the odd, or instead of the spread. I'm pointing to the screen like you can see it.
So you're going Henry,
Saquon, Devontae Smith, and Zay Flowers. All 4 of them. Plus the money line. Parlay it all.
Oh, I don't know what that would give you.
Devontae Smith is not in the.
I thought I saw he was ready to go.
He's not. He's not on the FanDuel card. So you got the money line, Derrick Henry, Barkley, Zay Flowers. That's plus 1871 right now.
All right. Well, then if he's not on the card, then
you
take
go
him off
AJ
of
Brown,
Devonta Smith. Nah, just leave it at what I said.
Henry, Barkley, Flowers plus money line, 1871, $50.
There you go.
Got you. Ooh, Jesse, you got any parlays on this?
besides the one I'm actually betting right now, it's that same one John just did. So
okay.
But yes, I do. I'm going to go kind of close to Sam. I'm going to go for a Henry, a Jalen Hurts, a Zay Flowers, and a Barkley parlay. That's 1347. I think it's going to be a high scoring. I'm going to go. I'm also going to put $50 on the over.
You know, if it wasn't for the fact that they've got the two best running backs in the league, I would say that this would be one of those classic NFC East, AFC North type slugfests in a very cold day, late in the afternoon. Sun's going to be going down, but with those two, they'll slug it out. You know what I mean? They'll do the old 3 yards in a cloud of dust, except it'll be more like 30 yards and a whole shitload of chalk flying up behind them. There's going to be a whole lot of tackling going on. I think those linebackers are going to be bruised up.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go.
What do you know? Lights.
I'm going to go with 50. I know, yeah, 50 on this. I'm going to go with Henry to get 2 touchdowns. I'm going to go with a Flowers touchdown and a Barkley touchdown.
Okay.
And I don't know what that would give me. So I'll have to ask Jesse when he comes back, but I'm picking Baltimore for the win.
I would suggest that since Jesse just found out there's electricity in the house, he's testing to see if there's indoor plumbing.
Yeah, probably. So. I would have thought so, yeah.
That's how it is sometimes down here in Southeast Virginia. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
All right. We ready to move on?
We are ready to move on.
All right. We got the Buffalo Bills.
Just before we do move on, could you look up what the odds are for me on one bet, Jesse, if that's okay?
Sure.
I've got Henry with 2 touchdowns.
All right. Hold on. Henry with 2 touchdowns. All right.
Henry.
A Flowers and a Barkley touchdown for $50.
That's plus 1584. 50 will win you 792.
All right. Thank you.
That's nice.
Indeed. Bills.
All right. We have the Buffalo Bills at home. This is going to be a snowy game. So they're calling for over a foot of snow in Buffalo. Lake effect by kickoff. You got the 49ers coming into town. 49ers they're not the 49ers that we're used to lately.
Nope.
I think this is going to be a ground and pound type of game. I'm not sure. Are they calling for snow during the game, or is it?
I'm not sure. I haven't quite got an answer on that. I guess I could look it up on this here internet thing and find out what the forecast is going to be. I know I saw a report this afternoon from, I don't know, some guy standing out there. So it was Pelissero. Some other guy was standing out there in the snow talking about that there would be they were expecting another foot. And, I mean, he had probably about a foot on the ground already. before kickoff, tomorrow. And I don't know if that means it's going to stop because, really, 2 feet of snow on the ground. I mean, granted, it's Buffalo, but they've postponed games before because of
they played in Detroit,
issues.
didn't they, a few years ago?
Yeah.
Weather report for the Buffalo 49ers game on Sunday.
Right. So, and the thing is, the field, if it's clear, it kind of levels things a little bit. But I still think the cold is going to be the big
Yeah,
up to 3 feet of snow is forecasted for Highmark Stadium on Sunday night.
Oh my
So
word.
it'll be snowing all damn day. It'll be snowing during the game.
So
I'll tell you
it's a
what.
bit different between Buffalo and Santa Clara, mate, that's for sure. Just a wee bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a long way to travel, too. So
Just to go freeze your ass off and go home with a loss. That's right.
Yeah.
You're free. You're going to go get on a plane, fly all the way across the country, stand out in the snow, and get punched in the eye.
A half
There
an
you
inch
go.
per hour.
oof.
That's what they're forecasting.
It's also
said.
also sexy time with John.
Give me the Bills all day in this game. I think the Niners are done.
So do I. John, I'm pretty certain that you're taking Buffalo
Oh,
here
I'm taking
as well,
Buffalo.
yeah?
I'm putting $100 down on that. Absolutely 100%. And I'm also going to put a $50 2 rushing touchdowns for the big fucking galoot, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, wow, okay.
2 rushing touchdowns for the biggest guy on the field. Yeah, he's going to do it in the snow. His feet will be like snowshoes.
It's not a bad bet, actually. I like that.
Yeah,
see.
I think that too, actually.
It's plus 700.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do
Max
that.
also went with the Buffalo for the win. I'm also going Buffalo for the win. I don't want to put money on this because I don't know what's going to happen. Could be anything,
All right.
but it's going to be snowy.
Yeah, it's going to be snowy.
All right, we got the
Oof.
Cleveland Browns
It's Monday Night Football, isn't it?
at the Denver.
Yes.
At the
At the Denver. They're at the Denver, yeah.
Broncos are favored by 5.5. Over under 42.5. Give me the Broncos all day long because
Yeah.
I still don't think Jameis Winston can see.
It depends which kind of Jameis Winston is going to show up. You saw him last week. All right, they won, but he didn't have a very good game. So this week, I think he'll put up one of those games where he throws for 350 yards and 1 touchdown and loses like 30-14, 30-13. So give me the Broncos all day long. In fact, that's all I'm going to do on this game right there. But I'm going to have to bring something up in a minute after you make your pick there, Scotty, before we get to the Redskins game.
So Max went with Cleveland in this game.
Of course.
And of course he does. And
Well,
I've gone
he's
with
banking
Denver.
on Jameis Winston having that one weird week. He's up and down. So I guess that's what he's thinking. I don't know.
He must be.
He must be.
Any
Either that or he was
parlays?
driving, because that's where he's driving.
Not
up
on this game.
somewhere to Pennsylvania.
Not on this game.
All right, a game we've all been waiting for.
Well, hang on a minute, because
It's
I'm not
John's
betting on that
card.
game, so I'm going to give you my
okay.
card. This is my card for the week. This is my big parlay bet for the week. And since I'm old, I used to remember these parlay cards, and this is what they look like. So this is how I'm going to do it. Actually, they look like this, but this is mine. This is my big parlay for this week, Scott. I'm going to put $100 down on this. This is the Rams minus 2.5. The Bucks minus 5.5. The Bills minus 5.5. I like this minus 5.5 this week, apparently. The
We all liked 5.5 last week, and it worked. So
Hey, man. Sexy time with John. The Broncos minus 5.5.
I'm the bottom one. Seahawks.
And the Seahawks plus 1.5.
That's sexy time with Scott.
There you go. So that's at plus 22.40. And that's my parlay of the week. So
You know,
my
the
card
only
is set.
one that makes me a little bit nervous there, John, is the Bills one, just because of the fact that the Bills are going to win. I have no doubts about that. It's just a weird game, snow, weather.
Yeah.
I think it could be low
Slippy
scoring.
ball. Who knows?
See, I
Yeah.
think that the Bills. Now, I know that you can't say, oh, they're used to it about playing in the cold and the snow. You can't get used to playing in a foot of snow if there's that much snow on the field. However, Josh Allen is from Wyoming. He's the biggest guy on the field. He's like, 7'15", something like that, 8'3". He's huge. So I think he's going to be able to run, and he will, I think. That's going to be
That
where
could
their
be
offense
like,
runs through.
I think that game is genuinely going to be like Bills 17, Niners 9, something like that. You know what I mean? It's going to be stupid.
I'm looking at more like 30-10. Bills are going
Could
to do
be.
it.
It really could be, but who knows?
Bills are
Good card.
All right.
So
There
there
we
you
go.
go. All right, now we can move along to the big game.
Oh, here we go on to the big game of the
We've
week.
all been waiting for. We have the Tennessee Titans coming into Landover, Maryland to take on the Washington Commanders.
The Commanders.
Commanders are favored by 6.5. Over under is 44.5.
I think that's generous.
I'm
the
not
6.5.
betting on this game.
Yeah.
Just to say right off the top.
I don't like the line whatsoever. I think it should
Neither
be
do I.
maybe like 3.
Yeah, I agree. It's very
3.5?
generous, that 6.5.
Yeah.
So
Home
those
favourite
out there
dog,
listening
3.5.
want to bet, I would take the Titans plus the points.
Yeah,
I might even
agreed.
consider the under.
I would definitely consider the under. I don't think this is going to be. We said yesterday. I don't think this is going to be a high scoring game whatsoever.
No.
It's going to be like a 20-16 type of game.
We will find out about Jaden in the cold. Because it's going
It's
to
going
be
to be a little
cold.
chilly. It's going to be chilly tomorrow.
So just to let you boys know that Max has put a bet on this game.
Of course,
He did it to us
said-
last week.
Well, he didn't
No,
put any
you
money.
know what?
He
Don't even
he-
say it. Don't even.
He
say
hasn't
gotta
put any
say
money.
it.
He hasn't put any money on it. He's just said Tennessee plus 6.5, Washington for the win for the book.
All right.
it. I mean,
So if he's not putting any money on it, that's pointless.
there's
to even
no.
say.
Yeah, there's no
He
point.
thinks he thinks it.
I'm
He's
going
just
to
hyped
say
about it.
Washington for the win, just for the book. I don't like it at all.
Okay.
I really don't.
Yeah. Now we get the win tomorrow. Jeremy Chin's going to get a pick 6.
Let's hope so. I think
so.
Sanders still. Man, I like that.
Sanders
kid.
still's riding high right now.
God, I like that kid so much,
He's-
and he is
he's coming
riding
off-
high.
He is the Michigan Wolverines today.
Yeah.
And, I saw that he was texting a bunch of shit back and forth to Terry McLaurin and some of these other Ohio State guys. You better be careful, man. People take that shit seriously. I
He
don't
did.
need any rift in our locker room
He
over that.
put
We got a
out
lot
on
of-
Instagram. He said, "Hey, I'll help you go clean Day's or office out because he's going to get fired."
Hey, well, yeah, you got to beat Michigan. I don't think he's done
We're
it
talking
yet.
about their
And
head
today-
coach.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I
today,
know.
Ohio
that
State
dude just
head
looks like
coach.
he's had too many facelifts, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I know
Ohio
you
State's
do.
Oh, I know. He's
I know. His whole head, it's like the skin on his head is pulled way back here. He's had so many facelifts. It's like, Jesus Christ. He looks like Steven Seagal, after he's got his hair dyed and his skin pulled back. Anyway.
So the only person who is taking Tennessee for the book is me. I am confident that we will win, but I don't even want to mention it. I'm just going to take Tennessee because it's not us.
Well, you're a dick, Scott.
Yeah. No, but I mean, you can't bet. You can never bet on your team at all. Even predicting. I'm saying.
But I did put a
that's,
couple parlays in, like real bets,
Okay.
and let me see if I want to share those real bets. I do have. Let's see what we got. Hold on, come on. All right. I do have a Luke McCaffrey and Nick Westbrook. Akine.
Akine, yeah.
Akine. Just put 20 on that one. That's plus 3,128. I just, I've been betting on Luke McCaffrey touchdown for
I know.
what week is it now?
Eventually,
Every
it's
week.
going to come in, and you're going to
Every fucking week. Yeah.
So Luke Mack and
Yeah,
Nick
we'll salute the
Westbrook.
dedication there.
Akine. And it was plus 3,128, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, if I
20 bucks?
I wouldn't bet on anything in this game
Nah.
simply because I
I don't
just
want
refuse
anything
to
on it.
curse my team. But if I did, I would definitely be putting it on the over receiving yards for their receivers. What the hell is Hang on, I gotta go pull it up.
Tyler Boyd's on that team too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Boyd.
He hasn't been really doing much.
Every time
But this
I
is
see
good.
it-
This is, the title of our show yesterday was backs against the wall. Their backs are definitely against the wall, and they got to come out firing. They were embarrassed last week. We've lost 3 in a row. if they want any hope whatsoever of making the playoffs, they got to win this game.
Yeah, this is a must game. They've been must games for the last couple of weeks. The one guy that I'd be worried about tomorrow, it would be Calvin Ridley.
Mine's
Akine,
Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard
too, and Akine. Akine's got like an 18-yard per reception average, and he's been lighting it up lately. They're a scary team. They got the number one defense in the NFL, and they got a quarterback who, even though he's an absolute fucking moron, he comes off with some lucky ass shit, man, and he'll come off with a couple of plays where he'll get Ridley open downfield or whatever. The weird thing to me is that they don't throw touchdowns, man. Ridley will get 110 yards in a game and 0 touchdowns. That's the thing. We've got to get him to give it up, man. We've got to take away the ball from a team that is prone to giving it away.
You're a dick, Scott. Hi, Kim. How are you doing? Yep, we saw that Forbes was let go. Yeah.
I don't know if Forbes was let go or he just like fell through a hole in the coach's pocket. I'm gonna smack this fucking dog.
It's going to be really disappointing if we come out with a loss tomorrow.
Oh well, for me. That's it.
Quit
Then.
speaking it into existence, you bunch of goddamn whiners. It's never gonna work.
It's hopeless. We'll never make it. Never. We're done for.
You gotta think positively. I am
could be
positively going to
reality.
kick this dog in his ass if he doesn't shut up.
This time
shout out
tomorrow, we'll know.
Shout out to
We're-
Peter Chilton as well. Chili, one of the lads in the chat who you've met before, Jesse.
Yep.
Came out for us the first year. He is at the game. So
Nice.
hope you enjoy
Well,
it.
maybe we have some
Dress warm.
good luck British juice over there. You know, you need it. We
Kim,
need
you
it,
going to the
Peter.
game tomorrow?
What's
Say
that?
again?
I'm asking Kim if she's going to the game tomorrow.
Oh,
I think she probably will be. Most.
I was going to. I was going to go. If we would have won last week, I would have probably gone again. I'm thinking about going to the Falcons game.
Oh, she's not going to the game. There you go.
Thinking about going. It depends on if we win. I'll go to the Falcons game. Possibly. I'm just tired of fucking spending my money on this team.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, man. It's
So
the
frustrating.
$1,000 the $1,000 experience every year. It's just like, oh
Too
shit,
cold,
really?
she says.
Yeah, too cold. I get that.
Hey,
No
I get it
tailgating.
too. Fuck it. I like my house, man. I like watching football in my house as I
Yeah.
wish.
Nice and cozy.
Nice and warm, nice and cozy. And that way, when I can, what's fun to me is like I can start to like Jesse. You went to the game last week. At what point did you leave?
Right before the Bates fumble.
There you go. So I went to the first time I went to the game with Jesse was against the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
And we're sitting there, and I really didn't, I mean, I knew you and that kind of stuff. We've been doing podcasts, but honest to God, in the first quarter, I think we gave up like 4 yards on a punt return. The guy made a move and somebody missed, and he got a couple of yards. And Jesse turned around and started leaving. I had to tackle that man in the goddamn concourse and say, "What the?" And
Get
he's
your
telling
ass
me, "Get away from me! It's hopeless. We're not going. This is over."
That was that ridiculous Terry McLaurin catch, wasn't it?
Yeah, that
Yes.
that happened right in front of me and John.
It was dead.
really?
Like
that
right
was
there.
awesome.
We looked at each other
I
like, did he
genuinely
fucking
thought
catch
that
that
was
shit?
I thought it was intercepted. To this
man.
day, I still was
That's still one of the greatest catches. I mean, that was the
was
year we
elite.
weren't allowed over there because of the COVID pandemic,
Right.
wasn't it? It was just about starting.
That's what we told you.
No, that was the year
couldn't
before
get-
that. The
couldn't
year
get-
before COVID, I think, right?
Yeah, 'cause
2021,
the
was
COVID
it?
year, we couldn't go to the game.
That's true. Yeah,
it was the
that's
year
true.
before COVID, I think.
No, it wasn't 2019 because I didn't know.
I think it's 2021. That I think.
Yeah, I think it was 2021.
Yeah.
It had to have been.
It was okay, yeah.
But we were
Chase
definitely
Young
going to
year.
go to that. We were definitely going to go to
Right.
that, though. I
But
remember
we
were
decided,
due to
as
come
a
out.
country, we were like, you know what? The place
Not
is
going to
a
let these
mess.
Brits in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still got COVID over here. Thanks anyway. All right then. Look, I'm going to get out of here. I got stuff I got to finish before it gets dark, and I'm going to go do it. So I will see y'all later. Good luck. I hope you all win your games tomorrow afternoon. Everybody, make sure you stop off right after the football game to hear our comments about the big time victory over the Tennessee Titans, or we can hear everybody complaining and screaming and hollering and being all angry. It doesn't make any difference. Whatever condition we happen to be in, we're coming on this microphone 5 minutes after the game is over. So please stop on through to see us. And then Jesse and Scott and Max and I will be back Monday to discuss the whole thing in much more further in depth. And really, it'll be just as chaotic as ever. So
It will be.
It will be. It'll just as chaotic as ever. Like, for example, I have forgotten to put on the playout music, so here we go. And I'm not even going to do that, too. I'm going to do this as well and get rid of this stupid thing here. Get rid of that thing here and put that away. So there we go. We're all ready to go. And now I hope everybody make sure you bundle up warm. It's cold outside. Jesse, put your scarf on. And Scott, remember.
It's cold outside.
Wear a condom.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Why would I do that? I've got a wife and I've been neutered, mate.
What? Oh, well, now that. All right, you've been neutered. So we'll just go ahead and go out and say this.
Okay.
All I can think about.
Too much information, yeah.
Scott tells me about. No, it's not too much information. The last podcast I was on, my podcast partner got neutered live on the air on the radio. But all I know now is that there is some poor bag of frozen peas that was cast away into a trash can after Scott had his way with it for a couple of
100%.
days.
100%.
I feel for those vegetables. Can you imagine? You're in a field. It's beautiful out. You're growing all summer. You get some nice rain. The dew comes on you. The sunshine. Everything feels great. You're spreading out. You grow into a nice fucking pea. They pick you. You're like, man, I'm going to be great. It's fucking salad or some shit. This is going to be good. I'm sweet and ready to go. They throw you in a bag. They freeze you. And the next thing you know, you're down some guy's pants because he fucking got himself with a second.
Yes.
All right, I never think about those things. So
Jesus Christ.
Don't,
See
don't
y'all
waste
tomorrow.
your evenings, John. Don't waste your evenings.
see you later. Bag of peas. Hey.